Through time, he became the Duke of the East, and by this time, the 3 lectures of the Purple Sky Palace had come to an end. That is to say, one's own calamity is also about to come. Since it's time to travel, then this kind of thing will definitely not happen. But when I stepped out of the chaos, I found that the chaotic world had already begun. The war between the witch and demon races was filled with the aura of killing in the vast and desolate world. He, who already had the misfortune of the Eastern Prince, persisted without arrogance or impatience. After all, as long as you don't leave the Purple Mansion, it's still relatively safe. Years later, when the Eastern Prince returned to the wilderness, the Lich Demon Realm had already ended. He stands tall in the heavenly court, yet holds the list of deities. What? I have become the Heavenly Emperor, living a miserable life. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. The Reborn East Prince of the Purple Mansion. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Time flies, and the grand preaching ceremony of Daozu Hongjun has come to an end. He has not yet integrated into the boundless realm of Taoism. In the vast East China Sea, the moment when the sun and the moon alternate, the light shines like poetry in painting, washing away this ancient land. At sunrise in the east, golden ripples jump on the sea surface, reflecting a magnificent picture of the sea and sky. The figure of the Eastern Prince floats on the blue waves like a purple glow, marveling at the ancient people's precise depiction of the vast world. One day in the sky, 1 year in the earth, this is the true portrayal of the flood and famine. He deeply felt the profound wisdom of the ancients. With one step, the Tao naturally flowed and instantly reached the hanging peak in the center of the 3 islands. There, Fengzhou Island stands tall, surrounded by mountains on all sides, and in the center is a rippling blue sea, like a jade oasis embedded in a flood, named Fengzhou. The palaces on the island are scattered, the mountains are like jade, and the sunset shines. The ancient vines intertwine, symbolizing the majesty and moral conduct of the Eastern Prince. This is his birthplace and also the holy land of his cultivation. Sifuzu. It stands together with Penglai, Abbot, and Yingzhou, and is home to 10 continents and 3 islands, jointly constructing the order and balance of the wilderness. The Eastern Prince, who once struggled to survive, now overlooks all sentient beings on the throne of the Heavenly Emperor, and his fate trajectory quietly undergoes a reversal. A Taoist with a dusty appearance, picturesque sword eyebrows, white hair like a waterfall of moonlight, and sparkling starry eyes, dressed in a deep black Taoist robe, bathed in the interweaving light of dawn and starlight. The Taoist aura emanating from his body is like a fairy wind. He gazed at the vast ocean and blue sky at the peak of the peak, experiencing the peaceful cultivation atmosphere of the 3 islands' wonderland, and couldn't help but feel deeply moved in his heart. The world is beautiful, but my lord is about to change hands. I wonder how peaceful this fairyland can be. The name of this Taoist is Xuanfu, but in fact, he is not the original Eastern Prince. He was once an ordinary grassroots civil servant in the secular world of Blue Star, and his only highlight was his excellent performance in the civil service examination. However, fate turned on an unexpected journey, and he unfortunately fell. His soul traveled here and transformed into the severely injured East Prince. Regarding the past of the Eastern Prince, historical records are vague, only stating that he was born in the primitive era of the Dragon Han dynasty. He also has many aliases, such as Dongwang, Tai Wei, and many noble imperial titles. He is an innate deity nurtured by the pure yang energy in the vast world, symbolizing the power of the ultimate yang. As the head of the male immortal and the ruler of the Purple Mansion, there seems to be a subtle relationship between him and the Queen Mother of the West, although the specific details are unclear. However, now he is facing a crisis of life and death, and his original strength has been ended by Emperor Tai of the Eastern Court on the East China Sea, which makes him feel powerless. He considers himself more fearful of death than ordinary people. He used to be an ordinary civil servant, but now he has great abilities in the wilderness, and the ups and downs of fate leave him at a loss. Faced with the impending disaster, Xuanfu's thoughts were swirling, trying to find a solution, but he could not find a practical and feasible strategy. Ultimately, it's still a gap in strength. He pondered inwardly. At this moment, a palace came into view, and two figures gracefully arrived, instantly landing on the peak he had erected. Greet the emperor respectfully. Two people salute, one male and one female. The leader is the Grand Minister in charge of the 35 departments of the Purple Mansion, and the assistant is the Junior Minister. They are the closest subordinates of Xuanfu, managing the administrative affairs of the Purple Mansion and governing the 10 continents and 3 islands. When they first met, Xuanfu felt a slight regret for their appearance. Desiming was not the imperial sister he had imagined, but a quiet and reserved man, and Xiao Siming was not a girl in purple, but a girl dressed in a green long dress, elegant and refined. At this moment, she lightly lifted her vermilion lips and asked Xuanfu about his cultivation status today. Seeing the emperor wandering and admiring the scenery, accompanied by purple clouds, I believe the injury has gradually healed. Since crossing to the 3 islands, the Eastern Prince has always been shrouded in the shadow of a life and death crisis, and has never set foot in the world outside of Zifu Island. Until now, with inner turmoil and difficulty in finding an answer, he decided to leave the familiar sea and immerse himself in the boundless East China Sea, enjoying a sunrise scene from the era of flood and desolation. Regarding the injuries, it is necessary to mention Emperor Taichi. After hearing Hongjuan's third lecture on the essence of the immortal way, the Eastern Prince returned to the East Sea, preparing to devote himself to seclusion and further refine his Purple Mansion pure yang immortal way. On the way, he stumbled upon a mysterious place on the sea that was shrouded in clouds and mist. He cracked the innate formation, the clouds and mist dissipated, and a small cave called Tonggu appeared before his eyes. Dongwang Gong walked into Tonggu and unexpectedly discovered the innate spiritual root growing here. The Fusong tree. It is divided into yin-yang twin plants, with the same root but different growth, and interdependent. This made the Eastern Prince ecstatic. As an innate pure yang deity, the yang attribute of the Fusong tree coincided with him. For him, this spiritual root is undoubtedly an excellent choice to help him become a hybrid. He tried his best to move the Fusong tree to his Purple Mansion and Blue Sea. Just as he was about to implement it, a clear and melodious cry suddenly came from the horizon, and a middle-aged man gracefully arrived and landed on the Tang Valley. He was dressed in a dazzling golden Taoist robe embroidered with a golden and black totem, which symbolized the innate sacredness of the cremation of Yang and the leader of the demon race, Emperor Tai. Chapter 2. Battle and Duel. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. The sudden arrival of Emperor Tai interrupted the joy of the Eastern Prince. Despite his surprise, he understood that Tai's appearance was not entirely unexpected. After all, the birth of the Fusong tree touched the strongest insight, not only him and Tai, but also the distant Emperor Jun. In the hands of others, the Fusong tree may only be the top spiritual root, but in the hands of the 3 of them, it can become a medium for enlightenment. As the leader of male immortals, the Eastern Prince did not show any weakness and challenged him, Tai, this tree has already belonged, please do not infringe upon it. However, the arrogance of Emperor Tai was no less than that of the Eastern Prince. He sneered and said, the treasure of spiritual roots, those who are destined to obtain it. Even if you have it, what can you do? He held the chaotic and dark yellow clock in his right hand, called the congenital treasure Chaos Bell, also known as the Eastern Emperor Bell. It was surrounded by the sun, moon, and stars, and seemed to contain all things in heaven and earth. I am the destined person, what do you think? His tone was flat, as if it was an undeniable fact. The same path of masculinity and imperial identity inevitably lead to conflicts between them. The Eastern Prince will no longer speak much. In times of struggle, words cannot be resolved, and only strength can determine superiority. The pure yang sword shines on his right hand, and the purple yang bell hangs above his head, all of which are symbols of his way of guarding. At the beginning of the ancient universe, there was a sacred artifact called the Purple Sun Dawn Bell, which originated from the Jingyang Palace where the Eastern Prince resided. It was famous for its endless vitality given to the purple glow of the sun when it was born, and thus became famous. At this moment, a fateful confrontation is about to unfold. The collision between the Eastern Prince and the Eastern Emperor Tai is about to erupt. The Eastern Prince took the lead in taking action, fully aware of the power of the Chaos Clock as an innate treasure. Its defense is like a barrier between heaven and earth, difficult to shake. This clock not only possesses the power to suppress Hongmeng, reverse time and space, understand the mysteries of the heavenly way, and control the 5 elements, but can be called an all-around treasure. Witnessing its power, those who knew it were all amazed by the existence of such a divine artifact in the world. He leaped lightly and appeared in front of the Eastern Emperor Tai in an instant. His sword light was like a rainbow, intertwined with the pure yang law and the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, forming a brilliant beam of light pointing directly at Tai. The space where Jian Meng passed was turbulent, but the seemingly invincible attack seemed to have no impact on the Eastern Emperor Tai. Tai's figure began to blur, and in the next moment, he pounced from behind the prince like a shadow. The Luo Jingxian, with endless inclusiveness, shuttles through the long river of time and space, effortlessly manipulating time and space. Just now, he charged the long river with his sword light, causing layers of waves. However, with the comfort of the long river, he regained calmness and then shot out from behind. The chaotic clock in Tai's hand vibrated, and the crisp sound of the clock was like a torrent of laws, mixed with the divine light of the sun, forming a majestic force. The sound of bells roars, intimidating the heavens and the earth, causing all things to lose their color. The universe sways, and the void seems to be torn apart. However, the power of the chaotic clock suppresses it, causing the spacetime around them to come to a standstill. The Eastern Prince waved his pure yang sword, and the power of the immortal technique surged. The sword shone brightly, and the aura of the law rushed towards Tai like a tornado. The encounter of two forces is like the collision of the sun and the sun, scorching hot and resounding throughout the world. The Xiang bell fell into his left palm, accompanied by the scorching Xiang, instantly sealing off too much activity space. Xiang hung above Tai's head, and in a hurry, Tai condensed the true fire of the sun, transforming into an invisible golden crow, confronting Xiang. Under the collision, the two instantly dissipated, and Tai was surprised. Did he also fall into the sea of homemade fire? As the innate divine nurtured by the sun, he has unparalleled control over flames, and can even be said to be the master of fire. Now he was almost injured by Xiang, which he couldn't bear, and his anger burned like fire. He rose up into the air, his body flowing with Taoist rhyme, and the domineering sun's divine light illuminated Tang Valley. Behind him, the massive golden and black magic echoed with the sun star, and the fire of the golden and black seemed to ignite the entire sky. This is only the faint afterglow of the golden flame, and the true anger has just begun to burn. The dazzling chaotic clock, driven by magic, is like an expanding cosmic celestial body suspended above Tai's head. Surrounding it, the earth, water, fire, and wind are as picturesque as poetry, and the light within the bell flows, revealing endless mysteries of the Great Road. In the time and space where Tonggu is located, it has been woven into a tight blockade network by the chaotic clock. Faced with this scene, the Eastern Prince no longer retained it. He put away the Xiang bell and understood that it was difficult for Xiang bell to play in this confrontation, completely suppressed by the confrontation between Tai and Chaos Bell. He took a step and the 12-rank pure white lotus terrace appeared under his feet, lifting him to the same height as Tai, like a fairy above the clouds. He held a pure yang sword in his right hand, and a golden staff intertwined with yellow and red in his left hand. The dragon head of the staff was adorned with a precious pearl, shining brightly. That lotus platform is an innate spiritual treasure that has just opened up in heaven and earth. It is called the pure world white lotus, which can cleanse dust and soothe the soul. It is a treasure for practitioners to cultivate themselves and also an excellent protective artifact. In fact, the 4 lotus terraces in the world of floods and wastelands, no matter how diverse their functions are, have top-notch defense capabilities. The battle between the two unfolded in the depths of Tonggu, and then crossed over the vast river of time and space. However, both Tonggu and the time and space river are firmly locked in by the power of the chaos clock. The Eastern Prince jumped in the long river, each step appearing extremely difficult, while Tai was like a fish in water, ready to launch a fierce attack from any time and space dimension at any time. Although both sides are unparalleled saints, the time and space river used to be their stage for displaying their supernatural powers and martial arts, but now the East Prince feels an unprecedented sense of oppression. He had 1,000 strategies in his heart, but it was like being bound by an invisible chain and unable to exert them. He knew that if it continued like this, it would be difficult for him to fully recover today. He activated the dragon head golden staff, and the bead on the head of the staff instantly burst into a dazzling light, shining straight into the long river of time and space, catching Tai off guard and causing great pain in his soul. It turned out that this bead was directly attacking his origin. During the brief moment when Emperor Tai was lost in consciousness, the Eastern Prince took the opportunity to increase the power input of the chaos clock in an attempt to break through the predicament. The chaos clock is like an indestructible shield. Any attack will bounce back and ignore the damage of all divine spells. The bell echoes in the long river of time and space, like the low roar of thunder. This is an opportunity. Donghuang pondered to himself in his heart. Sensing the weakening of the suppression power of the chaos clock, he decisively threw the golden staff of the dragon head in his hand. With a gentle tap, the dragon head transformed into a golden dragon, carrying the destructive power of the imperial path, and charged straight towards the chaos clock. The collision of the two caused the long river of time and space to oscillate, no longer just ordinary ripples, but raging waves that shook them flying and rolling in endless time and space. The counterattacks that followed one after another, the Eastern Prince was unable to resist and could only rely on the 12-rank White Lotus to barely resist. Once again, he was forced to turn over. Although the defense of the Lotus platform was not as strong as that of Chaos Clock, the severe pain in his internal organs and the churning of qi and blood in his chest forced him to grit his teeth and persevere. Due to the urgency of time, he is not allowed to slack off at all. The confinement of the Chaos Clock was finally broken through by the Eastern Prince, who quickly adjusted his position and returned to Tonggu. However, Tai's figure disappeared without a trace, as if he had been swept into an unknown corner by this fierce battle. The Eastern Prince was fortunate to have left a mark on the Fusang tree in Tonggu, which allowed him to return smoothly. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Decision of the Eastern Prince. You are listening at novel full.audio. At the peak of the towering mountains, the Eastern Prince pondered over the past chapters and couldn't help but feel a sense of emotion in his heart. The East Prince that I originally thought has disappeared, and my return seems to have regained everything I lost. He is not a true journey, but a return to his original identity. The Eastern Prince. He firmly believes that he is an eternal spiritual fragment of the Eastern Prince, and as for how to return, he has not been able to understand the mystery behind it. He knew that the former Donghuang Gong had fallen, but now, the Donghuang Gong in the incarnation of Wang Xuanfu is the only ruler. Although the injury has stabilized, patient adjustment is still needed, and the repair of the spirit is particularly difficult, which is not a one-time effort. The Eastern Prince gazed at the distant sea of clouds and said calmly. De Siming and Xiao Siming nodded silently, knowing the difficulty of restoring the primordial spirit. The gaze of the Eastern Prince turned to the two of them and suddenly said seriously, "You also need to practice diligently and not be as careless as before." For the Eastern Prince, the careless attitude of the disciples under the Purple Mansion has always been a concern for him. The Purple Mansion, like a paradise in the world, stands out in the chaotic world and should exist so peacefully. However, since the Eastern Prince was revered as the leader of the immortal realm, his mentality underwent a subtle change and he began to have ambitions to dominate the world, which led to the downfall of the Purple Mansion. After the collapse of the Purple Mansion, this land became a gathering place for scattered immortals, and there were also some people who later intercepted the teachings, but no prominent figure occupied this place. It is rumored that there is a cultivator named Yuan, whose holy land of cultivation is located here, and he is honored as the Penglai Immortal. I understand, Venerable. Purple Night Star Lord showed a slight impatience. Although the Venerable had strict requirements for the immortals, the pressure of cultivation seemed to have become heavier since he was promoted to the position of male immortal head. As his status improved, the Purple Mansion Cave Heaven accepted numerous sentient beings from the wilderness, and even some innate gods joined in. They either seek a place of cultivation and avoid the conflicts between the demon race and the gods and demons, or, due to the heavy damage suffered by the ethnic group, choose to rebuild the dojo here and seek shelter. Some people also try to take advantage of the reputation of the immortal head of the Eastern Prince to achieve great success, and these people are constantly encouraging the Venerable to participate in the struggle for hegemony. Faced with their proposal, Qingming Xingjuan did not respond. He was immersed in cultivation and regarded it as the cornerstone of life. His personality was inherently introverted and reserved. The Eastern Prince looked at the green dress girl in front of him, whose worries could not be hidden, and his heart was secretly filled with love. That round face is loved everywhere. He couldn't help but lightly flick her forehead and said with a smile, "You little girl, I asked you to focus on cultivation, but you looked unwilling. Am I asking you to work hard for myself?" The Purple Night Star Lord was somewhat stunned by this sudden action, stroking his forehead with a heart full of grievances. "I didn't say, not practicing either. Why do you want to knock my head and work hard for the Venerable? What's wrong with that? Venerable, you're becoming more and more mischievous." The Eastern Prince was momentarily speechless and didn't know how to respond. The girl's words and actions always made people feel different from when they first met. "Alright, come on, this time it's not a joke. Nowadays, the expansion of the heavenly court is becoming increasingly fierce. If they don't comply, it will be a dead end. Maybe one day they will come and attack the Purple Mansion." Faced with the serious warning from the Eastern Prince, the stars deeply believed it. Desiming spoke up and said, "What you have said is absolutely true. The current heavenly court is indeed becoming more and more domineering. Especially after preaching at Zixiao Palace, their attack became even more fierce." The Eastern Prince nodded slightly and continued, "This is inevitable. The heavenly court cannot sit still because of fear." In the Purple Sky Palace, the Taoist ancestor accepted Sanqing as his disciple and bestowed upon him innate treasures such as the Tai Chi diagram, Pangu banner, and the immortal sword formation. And all 3,000 guests, to some extent, received spiritual treasures, which gradually lost the advantage of the demon race. However, the resistance to unifying the wilderness grew stronger, and they naturally could not sit still at this point. The Eastern Prince paused and his tone changed to emotion. Unfortunately, the greater their pressure, the less likely they are to unify. Under oppression, resistance is inevitable, and the path of heaven has become cracked. After listening, the two nodded silently in agreement. However, when it comes to innate spiritual treasures, the eyes of Desiming and Zixiao Xingjuan sparkle with longing. They are born gods, but due to their mediocre foundation, they are not destined for the Purple Sky Palace or to listen to the mysteries of the Tao. Xiao Siming sighed and said, "The innate treasure, it was bestowed by the Taoist ancestor himself. With such generosity and so many spiritual treasures, it is truly enviable. The attraction of a gem to a cultivator is like that of a magnet to iron, especially when it fits with an individual, its charm is irresistible. If it were not for the ultimate plan of Dongwang Gongming by Hongjun, it would be impossible to understand why he gifted that innate masterpiece. Innate treasures are already the pinnacle of treasures in the world, and even if promoted to the rank of Honghuang, they can also help. There are two types of treasures in the world: innate spiritual treasures and acquired spiritual treasures. There is no concept of chaotic treasures or chaotic spiritual treasures as recognized by the Eastern Prince in his previous life. The innate masterpiece is the pinnacle of innate spiritual treasures, revered as a masterpiece due to its unique efficacy and the integrity of the Tao it contains. Ju, also known as Supreme, symbolizes endless possibilities. Due to its unique characteristics, Hongmeng chaos is unable to breed life and lacks the necessary conditions for nurturing life. Within the chaos of Hongmeng, there is only the Tao, which is omnipresent. Pangu is the Tao, Chaos Qinglian is the Tao, and the Heavenly Axe is also the Tao. They do not exist independently, but are the concretization of the Tao. Therefore, Pangu is not the only one. Anyone can become Pangu, because Pangu represents the essence of all living beings. The act of creating heaven and earth naturally does not require resisting 3,000 demons and gods. There is no such existence in chaos, and even if there is, it is only a manifestation of the Tao derived from the Tao. Chaos opens up and transforms into a world of chaos, while Hongmeng generates a long river of time and destiny, both coexisting with heaven and earth and changing with their evolution. It is precisely because of them that heaven and earth have nurtured countless creatures. If there is no time, space, and fate in the chaos of Hongmeng, how can there be spiritual reproduction? After the transformation of Pangu Road, the world of floods and wastelands flourished. Under the nourishment of the Tao, innate deities, innate spirit races, and countless tribes in the wilderness have emerged one after another, accompanied by innate spiritual treasures. In the wilderness, all things rely on the Tao and gradually construct their own laws, that is, the heavenly way. The heavenly way originates from the great Tao, but is independent of it. It is the rule of this world, encompassing all phenomena of heaven and earth, while the great Tao is the primitive law of Hongmeng chaos. Therefore, innate spiritual treasures are nurtured by the Tao, while acquired spiritual treasures are produced after the formation of the heavenly Tao, either as products of the heavenly Tao or artificially refined. The memories of the past are not absolute truth, they can only be used as a reference, otherwise they will only make a joke, sighed Dong Wanggong in his heart, looking at the surprised eyes of De Siming and Xiao Siming, who were amazed by their spiritual treasures. They were indispensable confidants to him. With this thought in mind, he took out a congenital spiritual treasure, and his joking heart froze, intending to tease Xiao Siming. Xiao Siming, call out Emperor and I will give you a treasure. His words were gentle like a spring breeze, but they stirred up a frenzy in their eyes. Without hesitation, Xiao Siming threw himself into the arms of the Eastern Prince and called out in a coquettish voice, Your Highness, Your Highness, Your Highness. Her action stunned the Eastern Prince. He was originally just joking, but he didn't expect such a response, and he couldn't help but laugh. Can you be a bit reserved? As the chief commander end.That chief of my purple mansion, isn't it a bit inappropriate for you to treat an innate treasure so recklessly? The Eastern Prince asked with a hint of helplessness. Be reserved. What concept is that? Isn't Lingbao important? Siming innocently blinked his eyes and even shook the arm of the Eastern Prince in an attempt to catch his attention. Okay, here you are. The Eastern Prince handed over the innate treasure, and without hesitation, Siming took it and quickly imprinted a mark on it, as if afraid that if there was any hesitation, the Eastern Prince would retract. This magic weapon, named Sanqing Mirror, is nurtured by the essence of the sun, the moon and the stars. It contains the rules of the stars. It can emit the brightness of the sun and the moon to hurt the gods. The star light can link the power of the stars to help you cultivate. Its effect is incalculable. De Siming's eyes flickered with longing, and he approached cautiously. The Eastern Prince quickly retreated and nervously stopped, saying, Stop, stop, don't come over, don't come over. Being called elder by such a beauty is a different experience for him, but in this situation, it appears awkward. Subsequently, the Prince of the East took out another innate treasure and handed it to the Grand Preceptor. He was secretly vigilant in his heart, afraid that he would not be able to resist the temptation and make impulsive moves. This treasure is called Tai Chi Stove. All things have yin and yang, and the 5 elements are the foundation of the Tao. The Tai Chi Stove contains the principles of yin and yang, which can be used for refining weapons and alchemy. It can also absorb living beings, and can be refined with the 2 flames of yin and yang. It can even serve as a defense, releasing the yin and yang breath to protect the whole body. When the Eastern Prince began to refine, he briefly introduced the role of treasures. After the branding was completed, the 2 of them were no longer eager to immediately refine, but bowed deeply to the Eastern Prince in gratitude. Thank you very much for the generous gift from the Emperor. In the world of cultivators, this kind of great gift is not common, but the prestige of the Eastern Prince is enough to accept it. His words were serious and firm, with unquestionable determination. You need to practice diligently and strictly supervise the 35 departments of the Purple Mansion. The conflict between us and the Heavenly Court may be inevitable, and it will be a life and death battle. Do not end up in despair due to insufficient cultivation. The words of the Eastern Prince exuded a strong sense of crisis. Emperor, I don't think we will have a deep grudge against the Heavenly Court. The Purple Mansion is located on the edge of the East China Sea. As long as we don't get involved in the struggle for hegemony, neither the Heavenly Court nor the 12 demon gods will relentlessly pursue us. Moreover, as the leader of the immortal realm personally conferred by the Taoist ancestor, you will definitely receive support from all parties. At that time Simon looked at him inexplicably, believing that the Purple Mansion was far from the center of the dispute and would not be involved in too much conflict. The Eastern Prince silently looked at her without responding, turned around and left the hanging peak, heading straight to the Blue Sea Palace. Simon secretly pondered in his heart that the Emperor seemed different from before, lacking that aloofness and becoming a bit more profound. The current Heavenly Emperor exhibits unprecedented warmth and vitality, although occasionally appearing somewhat restless, as if it does not match his quasi-holy authority and the identity of the ruler of the world. However, his personality is more approachable and warm than before. Being with him felt like bathing in the spring breeze, and the atmosphere of getting along seemed to contain equality and respect. I believe that the Heavenly Emperor harbors a deep ambition to conquer the world, but at this moment he is in confusion. De Siming's voice flowed calmly like a stream. What would your choice be? As long as the Heavenly Emperor has this intention, I will do my best. De Siming's answer was firm and resolute. Even if it means paying the price of one's life, I have no complaints. I am the same. Without the Heavenly Emperor, there would be no achievement for me today. Since he is determined to ascend to the throne of the Heavenly Emperor, I will definitely lend him a helping hand. Xiao Siming's words were full of loyalty. The 2 stood shoulder to shoulder on the top of the clouds, gazing at the Purple Mansion Blue Sea below. There was no need to say much, only a deep understanding between them. Their thoughts may have drifted towards the moment when they once descended like a savior. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Xiantu asking. You are listening at novel full.audio. On the rippling Jingyang Palace, the Eastern Prince chose this place as his place of cultivation. Practitioners in the wilderness usually choose caves, but the caves here are not real caves, but secret realms that symbolize the blessings of heaven and earth. Jingyang Palace is more like a small universe, suspended in the corners of the desolate continent, quiet and profound. Dongwang Gongshe released a pure white lotus flower and sat on it. His state was not cultivation, but contemplation and summarization. The legacy left over from previous lives is a huge treasure. Among them, there are 30.9 innate spiritual treasures, including 3 top.level ones, 6 top.grade ones, 12 mid-grade ones, and 18 low.grade ones. The top spiritual treasures include the Dragon Head Golden Staff, the 12th grade Pure World White Lotus, and the Pure Yang Sword. The top grade ones are like the Purple Yang Bell and Yin Yang Stove, the middle grade ones are like the clear jade seal, and the bottom grade ones are like the Liangyi mirror, each with its unique status. Although innate spiritual treasures are divided into 3 levels: upper, middle, and lower, some are revered as top. Level due to their uniqueness. For example, Qiankuan Ding, Xiantian Wufang Flag, and 5 Great Lotus Terraces are all representatives of this. In addition to the innate spiritual treasure, the Eastern Prince also obtained the Fusang Divine Wood, which was exchanged with his life. To be precise, it was a Fusang with a yang attribute. However, these are not the most precious. The most precious is the Purple Mansion Immortal Tao created in a previous life. The ability of the Eastern Prince to become the leader of male immortals was not calculated by Hongjun. If we really want to eliminate him, there is no need to be so cumbersome. Strength and ability are the key to everything. How many innate saints have fallen in the era of wild beasts rampant in ancient times and the flourishing of ancient dragon and Han dynasties? For the Eastern Prince, the general situation of the flood and famine cannot be changed, but small things can. He believes that this sentence is simply a joke in today's world. There is no eternity in the world, and there are no people who cannot be killed, to be precise. The flood and famine do not allow anyone to be so extraordinary. There are 2 reasons why Dongwang Gong can become a leader of male immortals. Firstly, he is a symbol of the primordial yang energy, which is the origin of all things. Male represents masculine strength, so he is the leader of male immortals. In the world of immortality, the Eastern Prince did not become a male immortal leader due to his innate reverence, but rather relied on his profound cultivation and unique contributions. He pioneered a unique path of cultivation in the Purple Mansion, breaking through Hongjuan's teachings and becoming the first immortal to reach the level of the Great Luo Golden Immortal. As a result, he was recognized by Hongjun and awarded this honor. On the contrary, the Queen Mother of the West was directly awarded the title of the head of female immortals because she symbolized the feminine power of the vast land. Although it may seem prominent, it is actually more of a symbol and honor. She wisely regarded this identity as a supreme honor rather than a symbol of power, and thus gained the respect of the immortals and saints, becoming an important guest in the immortal realm. At this moment, the Eastern Prince realized that the key to survival is not external pressure, but self-restraint. He realized from Xiao Siming's words that as long as he was not too radical, he could be safe and sound. So, his Tao heart suddenly became clear, and the magic of the Purple Mansion Immortal Tao automatically operated. His internal magic power surged like the same river and sea, and the power of the law permeated throughout his body, enveloping the entire Purple Mansion continent. The East Prince began to use the cultivation method of the Zifu Immortal sect to adjust the internal magic power of the group and absorb the essence of the spiritual power between heaven and earth. The cultivators in the wasteland world are divided into 5 categories, namely heavenly immortals, earth immortals, gods, and ghosts. This is not simply a realm division, but a different manifestation of their cultivation achievements. Each stage has its unique meaning, such as the Taoist fruit of the heavenly immortal, the mystery of the Xian immortal, the insight into the essence of the spirit immortal, and the higher level understanding of the true immortal, golden immortal, and Tai golden immortal. Dongwang Gong realized that as long as he remained clear-headed, he could easily navigate this world of immortality, no longer afraid of any challenges, and began to devote himself wholeheartedly to cultivation, hoping to further his path in the immortal realm. The boundless universe, with its network encompassing all things, is called the Great Luo. Its unfathomable depth encompasses every moment of the universe. Crossing the long river of time and integrating all phenomena of ancient and modern times, the people of the Great Luo realm are free and unrestrained in it, and are revered as the boundary leaders by all beings in the wilderness. The extreme realm of the immortal path is among the quasi-saints. This realm is also known as the Honghuang Golden Immortal Realm, the realm of the primordial realm and the realm of the Honghuang. The Shinto reveres it as Taichu, the demonic path names it Honghuang, the immortal path calls it Honghuang Jingxian, and the Honghuang creatures respectfully refer to it as the ancestral realm. With the sound of ancestor, the mystery and majesty of this realm are fully revealed. However, since the emergence of saints, people often refer to them as quasi-saints, and those in this realm are revered as symbols of extraordinary power. Entering the river of destiny, they transcend the constraints of time, explore the contours of the future, and begin to grasp their own destiny trajectory. The 10th realm of immortality, the Honghuang Golden Immortal, is close to being a saint. Chaos has just begun, and yin and yang have not yet been separated. The essence of the Tao is a mixed element, which encompasses everything, both reason and Tao, and is the highest law of the universe. Those who have reached this state have transcended the constraints of time, space, and fate, and are in a truly free and unobstructed state. They themselves are the heavens and the earth, and their words become fixed numbers. This realm can also be regarded as the Tao realm, and the Tao is in my heart. Although the Honghuang Golden Immortal is not a saint must be a sublimation of the Honghuang Golden Immortal. The realm of sages is not simply a level of cultivation, but an understanding of the Tao, which is the highest achievement in the vast world. The Hongmeng purple chi, bestowed by Hongjun as the 6 saints, is actually a symbol of power bestowed by the heavenly way. At this moment, the Eastern King is in the early stage of becoming a quasi-saint and has not yet cut off the barrier of the 3 corpses. The Taoist method taught by Hongjun, which is to slay the 3 corpses, can not only lead to the Honghuang Golden Immortal, but also touch the realm of saints. This is not really about eliminating the idea of good and evil, but about removing obsession and desire. Exploring one's own obsession in the long river of fate, placing the 3 corpses in spiritual treasures, can break free from the shackles of fate, integrate time and fate, and achieve the brilliance of the Honghuang Dao realm. Therefore, becoming a quasi-saint is not solely based on beheading, only by being promoted to quasi-saint can one have the opportunity to embark on this path. Otherwise, even the location of the river of fate would be difficult to detect. How could we talk about beheading the body? The 3 corpses are placed in a spiritual treasure, which does not necessarily have to be an innate divine object. The transformation of the 3 corpses with the help of innate treasures is easier and can enhance subsequent achievements. But this does not mean that the spiritual treasure will disappear. It still exists independently, but can be transformed into a 3-corpse incarnation when needed, like a spiritual weapon. At this moment, the Eastern Prince was immersed in the depth of cultivation, immersed in the surging power of the Purple Mansion and the interweaving of the Tao's principles, and began his first journey of cultivation in the vast world. Therefore, although he is well versed in its principles, his practical operations often encounter obstacles, as if he has rich theoretical knowledge but lacks practical skills. The Taoist teachings flowed like silk, spreading to the Purple Mansion continent, and then touching every inch of the land on the 3 islands and 10 continents. Its majestic aura enveloped the entire region without any destructive power. This kind of pressure has attracted the attention of all the creatures on the island. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. The Heavenly Way officially appears on the stage of history. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. What does this mean, Venerable? What is he doing? Neither the subordinates of the Eastern Prince nor the local creatures could understand this sudden move. The gaze of all living beings is focused on the Purple Mansion continent. The thunder god of Yunmengs, the cloud lord who sits in the clouds, and the 3 gods of fortune, wealth, and longevity known for their cultivation. The Taiyuan Immortal Lord, who followed the practice of the Eastern Prince, as well as the indigenous people of the old island represented by the Barefoot Immortal, were also here to concentrate and observe. There are also those ethnic groups who fled to this place due to disasters, as well as the 35 commanders and 72 divine generals of the Purple Mansion. Xiao Siming raised his vermilion lips in surprise and said, "Do you want to pass on the Dharma?" Her words were filled with doubt and disbelief. In the world of the wilderness, great powers often speak, but it is rare for them to provide universal benefits to all beings, unless it is the great power of Pangu who created heaven and earth. Lectures are only about expressing personal beliefs and understanding of the Tao, while preaching is often limited to private teachings between masters and disciples, or between Taoist couples. That is equivalent to spreading out one's own path, allowing people to examine and comprehend. In other words, it is sharing one's own way without reservation. De Siming lightly tapped Xiao Siming's forehead and said, "Why are you so stunned? Don't you quickly understand?" After speaking, she didn't care about anyone else and rose straight into the air, heading straight to the top of the blue sea, finding a peaceful place to delve into the rules of Dao Yun released by the Eastern Prince Shi. Xiao Siming regained his senses and followed closely behind, devoting himself to enlightenment. The more the fluctuations of Dao Yun connect with the princes of the Near East, the stronger the power of their laws. At this moment, it seems that everyone is aware and rushing towards the same direction, finding their own positions and fully dedicating themselves to understanding. However, they did not step into the blue sea of the Purple Mansion, as not everyone could freely venture there. The Eastern Prince was completely unaware of this and immersed himself in his own cultivation. When he returned, he found that he could only exert 1/10 of the strength of the Eastern Prince, which troubled him quite a bit. After all, he leapt from a mortal to a cosmic powerhouse. Although his magical and legal powers originated from himself, their application seemed awkward and difficult. At this moment, his cultivation was more like a rebirth of Honing. Although his magical cultivation is present, he is only re-experiencing each realm and experiencing the subtle differences within it. Refining essence and transforming Qi, refining spirit and transforming spirit, refining spirit and returning to emptiness, and practicing the combination of emptiness and Tao. These levels no longer have much room for improvement in the current chaotic world, and he only uses them to deepen his understanding of the realm. Next, he savored the realm of immortality and felt the mystery of its Tao fruit. Later on, he became a mysterious immortal, a spiritual immortal, and finally a true immortal, and finally stayed in the realm of golden immortals, where he stayed for the longest time. Because the realm of the golden immortal is crucial, who knows that the character, Jin, is enough to reflect the status of the Honghuang Daoyuo golden immortal. Only by reaching the level of golden immortal can one truly be called a profound Taoist. The golden body is immortal, enduring countless trials and tribulations without extinction. The 3 flowers gathered at the top, and the 5 energies returned to their original state. Gradually, a scene of the 3 flowers of heaven, earth, and man appeared in his body. As the level of cultivation increased, the fruit of the Eastern Prince's Tao was sublimated to the Tai golden immortal Tao fruit, and then merged with the pure Yang avenue to form an indestructible true spirit. Then, he entered the realm of the Luo Jingxian, crossing the long river of time, exploring the interweaving of the past and reality. He retrieved all the trajectories of his predecessor, the Eastern Prince, in the torrent of history, from his naive birth to gradually comprehending the laws of the Tao, and then to the creation of the Shinto. He has witnessed the ferocity and cruelty of fierce beasts in the wilderness. Although unable to turn the world around, he has witnessed the heroic struggle of newly born innate gods such as Hongjun, Luogui, and the yin-yang 5 elements. They lead various tribes to fight against this dark force. Zulong, Yuanfeng, and Shikolin, as leaders of the 10,000 clans, led the final counterattack. Although the Eastern Prince did not directly participate in the fierce beast calamity, as he was in the Holy Land of the East China Sea Dragon clan, the fierce beast had not yet touched this place. Having experienced the Dragon Han cataclysm, the 3 major races engaged in fierce battles for the summit of the Great Tao. He once led his troops to resist the Dragon tribe's attack on the 3 Immortals Island. At that time, although he had just ascended to the Golden Immortal of Dalao, the embryonic form of the Divine Emperor had already emerged because he had already given up his immortal cultivation. With the protection formation of the 3 islands and 10 continents, he successfully defended and witnessed the retreat of the 3 clans and the protection of the Dragon clan. In the struggle between Dao and Mo, the demon ancestor ruled the West, founded the demon cult, and attempted to subvert the heavenly way with the demon way. The newly born gods of the past stepped forward, such as Sanqing, Dijuan, Tai, etc., either united or independent, to jointly resist this evil force. The Eastern Prince also formed his own Purple Mansion faction and fought alongside Hongjun and others to resist the demon clan's minions such as the Heavenly Demon. For the first time, they experienced the powerful and unpredictable power of the demonic way. At first, they were in a difficult situation. However, Hongjun taught the mysteries of the immortal way and revealed strategies to resist it, allowing them to appreciate the depth and vastness of the immortal way. The charm of the immortal path was deeply imprinted in the heart of Dong Gong, prompting him to have the idea of turning to the cultivation of the immortal path. In this battle, the sentient beings in the wilderness showed unprecedented strength, and the demon ancestor retreated and became part of the main road. However, the western continent, where the final battle took place, also suffered heavy damage as a result. Although victory has arrived, the cost is the fall of countless creatures. This decisive battle led by Luo Gui and Hongjun is revered as the Immortal Demon Battle. After the war, Hongjun confirmed the position of Hunyuan Daoyuo Jingxian on the spot and then left. He has reached the peak of his spiritual cultivation, but he has never been able to break through his ancestral realm because the call of the immortal path is extremely clear. As the Great Way retreats, the cultivation of the Divine Way becomes increasingly difficult, and the Heavenly Way begins to dominate everything. In the midst of enlightenment, God and the Way coexist, and the Great Way retreats, making the cultivation of the Divine Way even more difficult. Hongjuan's promotion to the Sage of the Heavenly Way marked the complete retirement of the Great Way, and the Heavenly Way officially stepped onto the historical stage. The atmosphere of celebration permeates between heaven and earth, with a purple aura enveloping the vast expanse, and the sound of the Tao echoing endlessly. For the first time, sentient beings in the wilderness witnessed the majesty of the Hunyuan Daoyuo Golden Immortal and the Sage, and gained a new understanding of the immortal path. In the Taisu realm, at the beginning of the opening of the Hongmeng era, the sage Hongjun widely imparted teachings in the Tianyuan Hall, allowing anyone who had a chance to listen to his cosmic truth. In the Tianyuan Hall, a group of heroes gathered to listen to Hongjuan's exposition of the principles of heaven and earth, explain the path of immortal cultivation, and explore how to ascend to immortality. Without hesitation, Dong Wanggong chose to practice the immortal way. Building on the foundation of Hongjuan's immortal way, he ingeniously established a unique Purple Mansion immortal way method. Subsequently, Sanqing, Nyuhua, Shen Yuanzi, Di Jun, and others showcased their strengths and created their own laws of immortality, ushering in a prosperous era of immortality in the vast world. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Unfinished Exploration. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. The long river of time and space of the Eastern Prince has come to a temporary end, but he was unable to break through to the realm of the Great Luo Golden Immortal, because during the process of restoration, his Great Luo realm appeared incomplete. He wandered in the endless river of time and space, trying to find his own shortcomings, but he never found a solution. This is impossible. The original body can already be promoted to a quasi-saint. If it is not perfect, how can it travel through time and space? The Eastern Prince was lost in deep thought, and his path of restoration came to a halt here, blocked by the threshold of the Great Luo Golden Immortal. Just as he was pondering, inspiration pierced through the sky like dawn. He recalled memories of his past life. Even though he was a prince of the East, those unique experiences made him realize the problem. The original Dong Wanggong did not have those memories, which enabled him to walk so smoothly on the path of becoming a saint, while he himself appeared incomplete due to the lack of that journey. So, the Eastern Prince decided to head upstream and once again delve into the long river of time and space, searching for the lost past. The vast ocean of time and space is boundless, and he spends countless time but still cannot find his own trace of time and space. Without the earth, how can we search in the long river of time? He sighed inwardly, as if seeing the end of life. However, the Eastern Prince did not give up on this and decided to go against the current to create a new starting point. Since I can't retrieve it, why don't I personally shape one? He firmly thought, the pure yang sword in his hand shining with endless divine radiance, and began to weave a new chapter in the long river of time. He swung his sword to intercept fragments of time and space, and reshaped the world bit by bit according to the shape of the earth in his memory. With the revival of memory, his life trajectory gradually became clear in the long river of time, eventually forming a complete picture. When the reshaping was completed, he integrated this new long river of time and space into his own world. At that moment, the Tao rhyme rules of the 3 islands and 10 continents in the outside world continued to flow, and the virtual shadow of the Eastern Prince reflected in the sky above the Xianyuan Palace. 3 flowers gathered at the top, and the 5 energies were in full swing. The innate spiritual treasure shone brightly. However, at this moment, the Eastern Prince ignored the external prosperity and immersed himself wholeheartedly in the realm of cultivation. When he incorporated the newly created long river of time and space into himself, he suddenly felt the great road open up, and the once insurmountable realm of the great Luo Golden Immortal collapsed instantly. He was promoted to the rank of quasi-saint, and the imprint of his original identity as the East Prince also dissipated. The Eastern Prince is immersed in the path of self-understanding, with his magical power seamlessly integrated and his legal power at will. The pure young avenue flows within him, and his existence, like a newborn sun, illuminates the entire universe. The enthusiasm for cultivation gradually faded away, and his heart was as stable as a rock. However, the people around him were still immersed in their respective cultivation worlds and did not slack off. The Eastern Prince savored the growth of his own strength. The taste of enjoying powerful power alone can be described as indescribable. His love for cultivation is like an endless spring of sweet water, obsessed with the process of comprehending the Tao. After being promoted to the rank of quasi-saint, the Eastern Prince did not stop, but delved deeper into the mysteries of the Tao. He stepped into the river of fate, searching for the traces of those 3 incarnations. As soon as he stepped in, he felt overwhelming desires and persistence. There is both the obsession left by the Eastern Prince and the entanglement of desires in his past reincarnation. This is simply unbelievable. My desires for just a few decades are even more numerous than the accumulation of the East Prince for billions of years. This is like having all 5 poisons, leaving one at a loss. The Eastern Prince felt a wave of shock, while the challenge for other quasi-saints was to break, while he faced search. Eliminating the 3 corpses is not something that can be easily accomplished with just a magic weapon. If it were as easy as a palm, the status of a quasi-saint would not be so precious. Desire and persistence are intangible and intangible, how can they be cut off with sharp tools? This kind of attempt is not as straightforward as self-judgment. The so-dot called chopping refers to using the cultivation of the Tao and understanding it to conquer and eliminate. The Tao heart contains all desires, then defeats them with the power of the Tao, and separates them from the Tao heart, placing them on spiritual treasures. In the wilderness, there are a few people like me who can carry such a heavy desire and persistence. He sighed that his journey of the river of destiny had just begun, yet he had already encountered so many challenges. Finding, overcoming, and eliminating these desires and attachments one by one, he realized that this was a daunting task. This is undoubtedly more than 1 level higher than the difficulty of others' beheading. The Eastern Prince pondered to himself, perhaps cultivating demons would be the more suitable path for him. Isn't this a typical seed of magic? Is it still possible to switch to practicing magic now? The Eastern Prince lay helplessly on the pure white lotus, ending his brief meditation. Daozu probably won't punish me for this, right? Well, I don't think so. Looking at the Styx River, he cultivates both immortals and demons. Daozu doesn't seem to interfere, so I should be okay. The Eastern Prince patted his forehead and mocked himself, it's not a problem. The Styx River is just listening to teachings, and I am the head of all the immortals. Even if the Taoist ancestor is generous, he won't be lenient towards me, will he? After tidying up his clothes, the Eastern Prince put away the lotus flowers and casually calculated, only to find that 3 epochs had passed since the time of cultivation, and there was indeed no concept of day and night in the wilderness. Nowadays, he is no longer a newcomer to the weak, but a truly deserving quasi-saint and strong man, the Eastern Prince of the Purple Mansion, the Eastern Wood Prince, and the Eastern King. Pinching fingers, the way of calculation is like exploring a bag to extract things. The Honghuang era was divided into 12 guilds, each lasting 10,800 years. Each guild lasted for a total of 129,600 years. Therefore, this renovation took him over 300,000 years. The Eastern Prince pushed open the palace door and entered the outside world, only to be amazed by the sight before him. On the vast sea with rippling blue waves, countless people sit quietly for cultivation, creating a spectacular scene. De Siming, Xiao Siming, Taiyuan Xianjun, Barefoot Daxian, Yun Zhongjuan, Fu Lushou Sanshen, as well as 35 Siming, 72 Xinjiang, and the rulers of each island, are all listed here. The Eastern Prince's divine sense swept through and he sighed in his heart. In the central area of the heavenly continent, the starry purple sky realm is filled with the figures of cultivators beyond the level of mystical immortals in the deep darkness outside. What are they doing? Do they realize that I am not real and want to rebel? But this timing is too late, even if there may have been a chance earlier, now I am enough to fight against all of you on my own. Witnessing the appearance of the Eastern Prince, practitioners paused their practice one after another. De Siming and Xiao Siming stepped forward and respectfully bowed, saying, I am grateful for the kindness that the Emperor has bestowed upon me. Your benevolence is immeasurable. The other venerable beings above the blue sea also expressed their gratitude in unison. Thank you to the Emperor for your kindness in preaching. The Emperor is compassionate. All the creatures of the 3 islands and 10 continents, who can speak, bow deeply and say, thank you for your teachings. Your kindness is unparalleled. The Eastern Prince was shocked by this, not because he was ignorant, but because this scene was extremely rare in his memory. The ritual of Ji Shou means completely bowing to others. Practitioners pursue transcendence and sanctification, why should they easily perform this great ritual? In his lifetime, the Eastern Prince only performed such a grand ceremony to the Hongjun ancestor, and such a lofty respect was expressed by 3,000 guests in the Purple Cloud Palace. Because Hongjun symbolizes selflessness in imparting knowledge and resolving doubts. At this point, the Eastern Prince suddenly realized that the reason why Hongjun was so respected was because of his selflessness and loyalty to the Grand Duke. However, my wish to repair myself clearly cannot match this gift. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't be like this. I am doing this for my own benefit. You don't need to perform this great gift. The Eastern Prince cannot afford it, and I am truly ashamed. The Eastern Prince bowed and saluted to all directions. How could the Emperor accept this gift? We sincerely appreciate the Emperor's kindness, as evidenced by heaven and earth. Someone responded. Yes, Emperor, you can definitely afford this gift. Everyone agreed. Emperor, regardless of your motives, the sincerity of preaching is true, and your kindness is higher than heaven. Emperor should accept it. Taiyuan Xianjun stood up, his words full of respect. The Eastern Prince looked at the grateful voices in the hall and turned to the immortal Lord of Taiyuan with a smile, saying, Friend of Taiyuan, as guests of the Purple Sky Palace, why be so polite? As a member of the Purple Mansion, the distinction between monarchs and subjects cannot be ignored. I really don't deserve this title. Taiyuan Xianjun spoke seriously, attracting unanimous agreement from everyone. Since that's the case, I, the Eastern Prince, will accept this gift. The Eastern Prince decided to take this opportunity to gather everyone, hoping to convey his determination not to compete for power, but to cultivate in peace of mind. In fact, he still had a fear of death. After all, during the peak of the heavenly court's power, Emperor Jun, Emperor Tai, Emperor Fuxi, Emperor Wan Yuhua, and the demon master Kunpeng were all giants in the wilderness. At this moment, even the 12 demon gods dare not challenge their authority and can only unite and protect themselves. In the Purple Mansion, he alone supported the quasi-holy realm, appearing particularly lonely. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. Purple Mansion Tea Party. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Today, it's rare for everyone to gather together. Why don't we hold a tea talk ceremony and discuss together how to? The Eastern Prince proposed that we look forward to in-depth communication with everyone. People in the cultivation world are always busy practicing and rarely gather with each other, just like the East Prince who is currently focused on seclusion and does not pay too much attention to the trivial matters outside. Xiaoxi, you go and prepare. I need you to find the precious spirit fruit and the bottle of spirit wine I brewed. He instructed. Also, those dragons and phoenixes that we conquered in the early years, I heard that dragon meat is incredibly delicious, and dragon liver has a unique taste. Cook it well. He added, with a hint of anticipation in his eyes. Dongwang Gong understood that even in difficult practice, one should occasionally enjoy the pleasure of life, so he planned to invite some dancing fairies to cheer him up. This. Xiao Siming was stunned and looked at the East Prince incredulously, secretly surprised in his heart. The Emperor actually called her Xiaoxi. Her expression seemed to squeeze out water. Dong. The heartbeat of Xiao Siming was particularly clear in the silence. The Eastern Prince urged, "What are you looking at? Don't you understand the rules? Go ahead." Xiao Siming muttered discontentedly, hurriedly leaving behind a string of laughter echoing in the air. The onlookers watched this scene and pondered to themselves, after all, I am a trusted member of the Emperor. I will act more cautiously in the future. The decision of the Eastern Prince, although seemingly arbitrary, planted a seed in their hearts. Subsequently, the Eastern Prince led everyone into the side hall of Jingyang Palace, which was his holy land for cultivation, and only a few people could step there on weekdays. He intends to hold an informal gathering here, intending to convey his determination not to dominate the wilderness, but to focus on cultivation. He understands that formal meetings are too serious and it's better to communicate in a relaxed way. This can not only maintain face, but also achieve the purpose of communication. After all, facing the powerful lineup of the heavenly court, he knows very well that his strength is not his opponent. The current heavenly court is controlled by Emperor Jun, Emperor Tai, Emperor Fuxi, Emperor Wan Yuhua, and the demon master Kunpeng, all of whom are top-notch beings in the wilderness. Even the 12 demon gods feared them and gathered their strength to unite and fight against them. The Eastern Prince knew very well that he had no certainty of winning against any individual, let alone 5. The heavenly Emperor Jun possesses top-notch innate spiritual treasures such as Hichu Luo Shu, and the quasi-holy realm has not yet beheaded the body. Donghuang Tai held the chaos clock and was also a quasi-saint. He had a fierce battle with Dongwang Gong, and the outcome was evenly matched. Faced with such an opponent, the Eastern Prince understood that he had no chance of winning, and the power of the innate treasure should not be underestimated. Emperor Shi, also known as the Qin Emperor, holds the Fuxi Qin and Tiandi. These two top-notch innate spiritual treasures are enough to prove his strength. Don't think he's just proficient in arithmetic, his combat power is by no means inferior. As for Empress Hua, she possesses numerous top-notch spiritual treasures, such as the map of mountains and rivers, the heavenly and Koan cauldron, the Nuwa stone, and even rare treasures such as the 5-element spirit pearl and the 9 heavenly land. Her strength is awe-inspiring. Dongwang Gong would rather compete with passionate radicals like Tai and Tong Tian than face the mysterious power called Nuwa. Do you think that Nuwa is only limited to shaping life and repairing heaven and earth? This is just the tip of the iceberg among her many talents. In the mythological battles of the past, Nuwa's identity was not singular. At that time, she was called Nu-11, or Empress. She led various tribes around Mount Buzhou, such as the Qingqiu Fox and Tingsha tribes, who resisted the invasion of demons in front of the walls of Mount Buzhou and won endless respect and title. Empress. Dressed in a fiery red battle robe and wielding a long red sword, Enyushi's figure swept from Zhoushan to the western continent. Her bravery and fearlessness were awe-inspiring. In the ultimate battle between immortals and demons, she stood alone against the head of the heavenly demons, the 6 Desires heavenly demon, whose cultivation had reached the level of quasi-saint ancestor. However, Enyushi, who was only at the peak of the divine emperor, dared to challenge this level. That battle made the Eastern Prince deeply understand the extraordinary challenges of the imperial realm to the ancestral realm. Enyushi guarded her head with the Qiankuan cauldron, holding Nuwa stone in her left hand and waving a red-sleeved sword in her right hand. In the end, she unexpectedly cut the 6 Desires heavenly demons into 6 pieces and refined them into the cauldron. Her determination and strength amazed everyone. The most amazing thing was that with her final strike, she threw her full red-sleeved sword directly at the demon ancestor Luo Xian. The power of this sword stunned the whole audience and instantly silenced all doubts. If it weren't for the timely rescue of Hongjun, Yin Yang, and others, Enyushi might have been gone by now. At this point in his memory, the Eastern Prince couldn't help but shiver and exclaim, it was still Nuwa, who practiced the immortal path, who was gentle, and Nu-11, who practiced the divine path, who was too terrifying. As for the powerful existence named Kunpeng, although he was the only person in the East Prince's confidence that he could compete with him, his speed was unbeatable, and Kunpeng ranked among the top in the treacherous and cunning rankings. So, my Eastern Prince is not timid, but loves to cultivate and enjoy the tranquility of pure cultivation. No interference can shake my determination. In the side hall, the Eastern Prince listened to the work reports of his subordinates, affirmed their contributions, enthusiastically responded to idle chatter, and patiently answered questions about cultivation. In these exchanges, the Eastern Prince re-examined his team. The Commander-in-Chief of the 35th Division and the 72 Divine Generals are both the core strength of our Eastern Prince. They are extremely loyal, especially the Grand Commander, whose cultivation has reached the peak of the great Luo Golden Immortal. These people firmly believe in the choice of the Eastern Prince. As long as he chooses Qingxiu, they will closely follow and jointly maintain this tranquility. As the guardian of the 3 realms of life, Lord Qixia has deep roots in his camp and is the pinnacle of the great Luo Golden Immortal. He is like a kind elder, always wearing a smile and deeply respected by all beings. Looking back in the past, this venerable figure was still active while traveling westward to obtain scriptures, clearly a model of dedicated cultivation with no hidden dangers. The island lords are all practicing on the edge of the 3 realms immortal island, relying on the power of Zichen. Among them are the Daluo Golden Immortal and the Tai Golden Immortal, all of whom maintain peace and are not aggressive. Penglai 3 Immortals, Fu, Lu, and Shou, the 3 Tai Golden Immortals, have reached their peak in cultivation and are exemplary cultivators. They are undoubtedly reliable allies and pose no threat. The leaders of various ethnic groups who have been exiled here have varying cultivation levels, neither surrendering to the heavenly court nor coveting power, indicating a lack of fighting spirit. Finally, the ambition faction of Taiyuan Xianjun became a problem. He is a hard nut that needs to be treated with caution. He must understand that unless he gives up his ambition, he can only leave. The voice of the Eastern Prince and Emperor is simple and clear. What I, the Eastern Prince, pursue is the freedom of cultivation and am willing to be a carefree emperor, rather than the position of the heavenly emperor. PS seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Respecting Hongmeng with the Way. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. In a relaxed tea party, Xiaowei Xingjuan walked into the hall. Emperor, the banquet at the Xiantu Palace has been prepared and we respectfully invite you to move. Well done, the ministers will be seated shortly. The Eastern Prince nodded, gesturing for everyone to go first. This arrangement has its own considerations, and he cannot sit first. Let the courtiers sit down one by one in front of him. In a world of chaos, although strength is important, worldly wisdom is equally indispensable. These rituals originate from the 3 tribes of the Dragon and Han, especially the Dragon, who attach great importance to them and maintain order. Everyone retreated one after another, leaving only the East Prince, the Grand Minister, and the young Star Lord in the main hall. Desiming, in today's conversation, your 35th division was well managed and did not affect your cultivation, which is truly rare, the Eastern Prince suddenly commented. Desiming remained humble as always. Thank you for your praise, Emperor. This is where my responsibility lies. Dongwang Gongxin secretly praised, the original body's vision is indeed unique. Although the Grand Minister is silent, he has a unique insight in governance. The huge Sichan power relies entirely on the clever coordination of the 35 departments, and friction between various forces is inevitable. However, in today's harmonious atmosphere, no one complains or seeks advice from the Emperor, which demonstrates the management talent of the Grand Minister. You are committed to the law of life and death, and the bestowal of the yin-yang furnace can meet short-term needs. However, Zichen's management is heavy, and your time for cultivation will inevitably be limited. The Eastern Prince proposed the issue of rewards. Desiming quickly declined. I dare not accept it, but because I have fulfilled my duties, the previous gift has been an unexpected joy. I earnestly request the Emperor to take it back. But the Eastern Prince insisted. Merit should be rewarded, this is the rule under your rule. Why is it exceptional to oneself? However, Desiming remained stubbornly silent, firmly refusing to accept any additional rewards. Well, seeing how persistent you are, I will make the decision for you. You specialize in the way of life and death, and the yin-yang furnace is enough for you to improve in the short term. However, Zichen's affairs require more time from you. The Eastern Prince decided to personally resolve this matter. In the Purple Sky Palace, the Eastern Prince gazed at the silent Grand Minister, holding a shining bodhi in his hand, as if hiding endless stories. This is a precious treasure gifted to me by Western quasi-saints, from the bodhi of the 10 spiritual trees, which can help people understand the Tao. Today, I would like to offer this as a gift and look forward to your promotion to the quasi-holy realm as soon as possible. As he spoke, he sincerely handed the bodhisattva to the Grand Minister. Desiming took it, his eyes flickering with gratitude. Thank you very much for the generous gift from the Emperor. I will do my best to cultivate and live up to the Emperor's expectations. I will guard the Purple Mansion and follow the Emperor's footsteps. His tone is firm and humble. Dongwang Gong smiled and said, there is no need to express gratitude. I have seen your growth in my eyes and am delighted in your heart. When you become a quasi-saint, we will be friends of the Tao. He is well aware of the importance of motivation. Although this Bodhi is precious, it is the key to opening the door to the great way for those below the quasi-saint level. As a leader, I need to paint a grand blueprint for you, and this Bodhisattva is one of them. As soon as the tone of the Honghuang dialect finished, he suggested, let's go to Xiantu Palace together and see how the banquet prepared by Xiaoxi is going. If it's not satisfactory, you need to take responsibility. Xiao Siming pouted slightly, as if dissatisfied, but he didn't want to miss any excitement. The Eastern Prince was the first to enter the Xiantu Palace, followed closely by the two of them. Stepping into the palace gate, the East Prince's eyes suddenly opened up, and the scene before him was like a scroll of fairyland. The palace is filled with fragrance and auspicious atmosphere, with ribbons fluttering above the jade pond and smoke swirling between the treasure towers. Phoenix soaring, golden flowers and jade stamens swaying in the light and shadow. On the top of the table are arranged 9 fengxia CDs, 8 treasures, purple neon chairs, colorful painted gold tables, and abundant flowers and jade pots. The table is filled with dragon liver and phoenix marrow, immortal brewed spirit fruits, a dazzling array of delicious dishes, and novel and unique fruits that make people drool. However, the Eastern Prince noticed that Xiao Siming was not among them. This girl in blue clothes, who appears to be a maid, actually has an extraordinary identity. Her position is firmly at the forefront of the palace, and her cultivation level is even higher in the later stage of the Dalai Lama, which cannot be underestimated. During the contemplation of the Eastern Prince, Xiao Siming seemed unaware and walked straight towards his position. The Eastern Prince then sat down, and everyone stood up to salute, with the sound of paying respects to the emperor echoing in the palace. The Eastern King announced that everyone would take their seats, and the fairies began pouring wine and adding tea. The Eastern Prince was surprised to find that there was no one to serve him. In confusion, a slender jade hand had already filled him with wine. He turned his head and realized it was Xiao Siming, with a hint of understanding in his eyes. Isn't such a grand feast too luxurious? It's really unbearable to have the Luo Jingxian personally serve it. There was a hint of mockery in the words of the Eastern Prince. Xiao Siming completely disregarded it and focused on fulfilling her duties. The Eastern Prince raised his wine bottle and made his opening statement. It is truly rare to gather together today and raise a glass to celebrate. Let's all respect our ancestors and the immortal way. The various celestial phenomena are diverse, and our way is flourishing day by day. We respect our ancestors and the immortal way. Everyone responded in unison, and the wine in the cup flowed in a festive atmosphere. At this moment, a phantom suddenly appeared above the Xiantu Palace, disrupting the tranquility of the feast. In the midst of chaos, an invisible figure loomed faintly, surrounded by profound Taoist rhymes, like a galaxy twinkling in the dark night. Compared to this vast power, the Tao rhyme of the Eastern Prince is like a faint candle competing with the bright moon. Inside the hall, only the East Prince, Barefoot Immortal, and Taiyuan Immortal can capture the illusory outline. The Eastern Prince quickly stood up and respectfully bowed. The Eastern Prince paid his respects to his mentor, but did not anticipate your arrival and was unable to receive him in time. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. His voice echoed in the air, filled with awe. At this moment, everyone suddenly realized that it was the majesty of the Taoist ancestor. They stood up one after another, bowing deeply and saying, "Greetings to our ancestor. No need for courtesy, get up." The voice of Daozu is like a spring breeze brushing against the face, gentle and solemn. The Eastern Prince felt a force lift his body and involuntarily straightened his waist. Please take your seat, mentor, and have some coarse tea and light wine to express your heartfelt feelings. He tried to move his throne away, but found it impossible to move a single penny. Today, I wandered through the wilderness and suddenly felt that you were offering wine to your teacher. When I was not practicing the Tao, I often drank and discussed it with my fellow Taoists. People are no longer the same today or in the past. In Hongjuan's words, Dao Yin entwined like threads, revealing kindness and vicissitudes. After becoming a saint, you are the first person to toast me. I will stop by and visit your purple mansion. Hongjuan's words are like the care of the elderly towards the younger generation. Upon hearing this, the Eastern Prince was filled with gratitude and said, "It is a great honor for me, the cultivator of the purple mansion, to have the opportunity to visit. We all follow the teachings of the teacher, and this is your dojo. How dare you say you came uninvited? We are overjoyed." Hongjun smiled slightly and his eyes showed satisfaction. Although your cultivation is still shallow, you know how to compliment. Remember to follow the path of cultivation and not overlook any details. However, your preaching is indeed outstanding, with the demeanor of immortal masters. I will drink this cup of turbid wine. The wine bottle flew to Hongjuan's hand on its own, he took a light sip, and the wine bottle returned to its original position. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Hongjun's discussion on the Purple Mansion world. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Since you have already attended the banquet today, there should be some reward. If you have any wishes, just let me know. In Hongjuan's words, there is endless tolerance and generosity. The Eastern Prince humbly responded, "Your esteemed teacher is fortunate enough to visit the Purple Mansion in person. How dare you accept the generous gift? Your esteemed teacher's actions have made the disciples feel ashamed." Hongjun nodded slightly and waved his hand lightly. The East Prince felt the residual spiritual trauma in his body dissipate instantly. He once again bowed down and said, "Thank you very much for your kindness and kindness. A small matter, a slight gift can be considered as a gift for attending a banquet. As for the wine you offered, I'll give you another spiritual treasure as a gift." As Hongjun spoke, a yellow light flashed and a beautiful seal and spiritual treasure appeared in the palm of the East Prince. The Eastern King wanted to express his gratitude, but he saw that Hongjun had already drifted away. "I respectfully bid farewell to my mentor." Everyone bowed in unison and said, "Farewell to Daozu." After the ceremony, the Eastern Prince sat back on the throne, feeling extremely excited. He thought it was just an ordinary toast, but unexpectedly it touched the Taoist ancestor, causing this supreme being to personally descend. At the magnificent banquet, the sudden arrival of Daozuan was like a gust of wind, instantly blowing away the original tranquility. The Eastern Prince restrained his thoughts and said in a gentle voice, "Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. Today's banquet, with the presence of Daozuan, is undoubtedly a great honor for the Purple Mansion. We should feel extremely honored, rather than silently speaking." Everyone suddenly came to their senses from surprise and took their seats. Xianjun Taiyuan was full of joy and said straightforwardly, "Today, the Emperor is hosting a banquet, and the Taoist is personally here. The Emperor is indeed the leader of the immortal world appointed by our esteemed teacher. We would like to extend our sincerest congratulations to the Emperor. We extend our warmest congratulations to the Emperor." Dongwang Gong's heart was filled with joy, and the arrival of Daozuan not only brought substantial benefits, but also enhanced his reputation. These are enough to make him more stable without competing for dominance. The Eastern Prince raised his glass and spoke loudly, "To our Purple Mansion, to the prosperity of the Purple Mansion, cheers." Everyone responded, "To the Purple Mansion, to prosperity, cheers." The aroma of the wine overflowed, and the atmosphere became even more lively. The arrival of Daozuan undoubtedly added endless brilliance to this feast. The Eastern Prince raised his third cup and said, "Today's gathering should be attributed to the careful planning of Xiantu. Let's respect her for this third cup." The Eastern Prince exerted his magical power and left a vacant seat. The young master sat down elegantly and raised his glass to drink with everyone. The Eastern Prince continued to announce, "Today we drink, regardless of our cultivation, let us fully enjoy it." After drinking 3 cups of wine, the opening speech of the East Prince came to an end, and everyone in the hall began to toast each other, bringing their relationship closer in the aroma of the wine. Today's gathering brought together the core figures of the Purple Mansion, making it a great opportunity to establish connections. Many rare high-level officials attended and were looking for opportunities to expand their networks. As the dance team arranged by Xiantu entered, the graceful dance steps of the fairies were as beautiful as the autumn water and the sky. The dancers had graceful postures, their skirts swaying in the wind, as if dancing in the clouds, attracting waves of praise. Taiyuan Xianjun raised his glass and invited Honghuang to drink together. They talked about the great righteousness of heaven and earth and reminisced about the wonderful time of studying together in Zixiao Palace. The emperor's preaching this time will surely make the power of the Purple Mansion emerge like spring shoots. This cup should be paid tribute to the emperor. The two of them raised their glasses alternately, each sentence carrying a profound meaning. Looking at the current chaos, emperors are undoubtedly at the top of the line. Although the 3 cleanses may ascend to the throne, they are ultimately not the masters of heaven and earth. They continue to evaluate, and their evaluations of various characters were like a clever move in a chess game. Zhen Yuanzi, although a heavenly immortal, created the path of earthly immortality. Although he did not reach perfection, he had already cultivated to the level of Daluo Golden Immortal and was revered by the spirits of mountains, rivers, plants, and trees. He can be called the ancestor of earthly immortality. Although his disciples are numerous, they do not compete for power and do not need to worry. Another name was mentioned, Bloody Sea and Styx River. He specializes in the art of killing and attacking, and has a deep cultivation. However, his pursuit of the Great Path cannot achieve the position of the ruler of heaven and earth. The Western Zhuanti and Jane are indeed incredibly resilient and have vast supernatural powers, but their Western world is devastated by conflicts between immortals and demons, and they have no hope of dominating the world. Moreover, Master once said that both of them have the potential to become saints. Emperor Fuxi, whose talent is as brilliant as that of the heavenly emperor, is deeply trapped in the vortex of the demon race and unable to extricate himself. The blessings of the heavenly court are not easy to enjoy, and he finds it difficult to easily withdraw. The 12 demon gods are arrogant, treating many strong individuals as if they have nothing to do. Even though internal conflicts continue, although they are temporarily united due to the pressure of the demon race, their problems are not worth mentioning. The current heavenly court may seem prosperous, but in reality, there is a surge of undercurrents. The former Empress Dowager Hua is now dedicated to the realization of the Holy Way, hoping to achieve the sanctity of the mixed way of life by beheading her body. Emperor Jun's increasingly strict means of governance have led to a distance from Emperor Fuxi, and their beliefs have become incompatible. The demon master Kunpeng was loyal to the demon race's heavenly court, but he failed to win Tai Yi's favor. This shows that the future of the heavenly court and the demon gods may only follow the footsteps of the 3 tribes. At this moment, Taiyuan Xianjun stopped, his gaze fixed fervently on the Eastern Prince, his words filled with determination. Only the emperor can become the ruler of this world. Whether in cultivation, prestige, or dharma, he is the best candidate for the heavenly emperor. The Eastern Prince was deeply impressed by Taiyuan's insight, and for the first time, he experienced the profound wisdom of people in the wilderness. If it weren't for the memories of his past life, his understanding of this grand pattern would never have been so thorough. Taiyuan's words not only surprised the Eastern Prince, but also plunged everyone in the palace into contemplation. They originally thought that Taiyuan's persuasion was just a joke, but now the strength of the heavenly court and the demon god is incomparable to that of the Purple Mansion. Both high.end and low.end capabilities cannot compete with it. However, Taiyuan's words touched upon the deep desires in their hearts, especially those who sought refuge here, with the flames of revenge burning in their hearts. They crave revenge, yet fear strong enemies. Now that there is hope, how can we not ignite our fighting spirit? The Eastern Prince looked at the crowd being touched and understood why the former Eastern Prince's guild was destroyed by the Heavenly Court. At this time, it was a period of tension between the Demon Kingdom and the 12 demon gods, and the actions of the Eastern Prince undoubtedly became a target, warning all forces. Taiyuan's analysis was extremely accurate, but he ignored the hidden strength of the Purple Mansion. Currently, the Purple Mansion only has one quasi-holy East Prince, while the Demon Clan Heavenly Court already has 5 quasi-saints, and the Heavenly Court's power will continue to grow. The 12 demon gods are all quasi-saints. Although the Eastern Prince is confident that he can deal with them alone, even (1.1), he is still powerless against the 12 demon gods. Although the analysis is correct, the likelihood of actual operation is negligible. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Establishing Heart for Heaven and Earth. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. The Eastern Prince is contemplating how to plan for his own camp in such a situation. How many achievements have I made in the flood and wilderness since I became the Eastern Prince? How many virtues have I shown in heaven and earth? How can I hold the title of Emperor of Heaven? If one's position is high but not in line with actual virtue, there will inevitably be heavenly calamity accompanying them. The vast and desolate world is not lacking in dominance, but in urgent need of a person who has deeply contributed to the world, educated the people, and promoted the great way. Moreover, a heart that loves all sentient beings is needed. Today, the leaders of the Purple Mansion are gathered here at the right time. Let's discuss the future path of the Purple Mansion together. The Eastern Prince no longer hides his meaning. If it weren't for the frank words of the immortal Lord Taiyuan, he might have been able to guide everyone in a subtle way. He once held a state of meditation and did not inquire about disputes. However, today Taiyuan's words were like morning bells and evening drums, almost touching the heartstrings of everyone present. He had to step forward, originally considering face and unwilling to be too straightforward, but now he had to express his position. The Purple Mansion is located in the land of the 3 islands and 10 continents in the East China Sea, like a fairyland outside the world. The disciples of the Purple Mansion are all focused on the Tao, and I yearn for this realm. However, relying solely on pure cultivation, it is difficult to reach the summit of the golden immortal of the great Luo and attain a quasi-holy realm. People with aspirations in the Purple Mansion should leave the island to experience and sharpen themselves. And those who enjoy Qingxiu can also practice meditation in Mishima without any hindrance. As cultivators, the golden immortal realm can now share the eternal life of heaven and earth, but the immortals are nourished by heaven and earth, yet they rarely give back. Practice is not just about self-cultivation. We cannot be limited to the 3 islands and 10 continents, we should bravely move forward. I do not expect the Purple Mansion to become prominent in the future, but rather wish that every disciple can contribute to the vast wilderness and sentient beings. We want to become a unique existence, not competing for the world's hegemony, but only seeking to add glory and color to the world through practical actions. Everyone, what is your opinion on this? The gaze of the Eastern Prince swept over the crowd, exuding anticipation in his majesty. These guys with long lifespans, if not guided, could really breed a desire for hegemony and put the Purple Mansion in a difficult situation. As the Emperor said, I am willing to contribute to the flood and famine. The first responder, contrary to the expectations of the Eastern Prince, was a barefoot immortal who had joined the Purple Mansion to fight against evil on Fengzhang Island. He was the first loyal guardian of the Purple Mansion and a true elder-level figure. However, the Eastern Prince had a vague memory of his past life, only knowing that he had survived during his western journey and was a distinguished guest in the heavenly court, with the cultivation of the great Luo Golden Immortal. And the other people in the palace, in the memory of the Eastern Prince, seem to have not heard of their subsequent fate. It can be inferred that the Barefoot Immortal avoided the calamity of the fall of the Purple Mansion. Now, the Barefoot Immortal has reached the level of the great Luo Golden Immortal. Has it been so long since he has broken through to the quasi-holy realm? The Eastern Prince no longer delves deeper, and no matter what the Barefoot Immortal plans, he has confidence in managing the situation. Xianjun, I also agree. Supplementary proposal. In an instant, a voice of agreement echoed inside the hall. Dong Wangong's heart was filled with satisfaction, and he turned to look at Taiyuan Xianjun, his eyes seeming to urge, "Brother, what about you? Hurry up and make a statement." Taiyuan Xianjun stood up and said in a loud voice, "The words of the Emperor have deeply touched my heart. I am willing to be the first person to leave the Purple Mansion." "Hey, what's going on, young man? Are you planning to give up now?" The Eastern Prince couldn't believe it. He thought he could still see a wonderful debate, but he didn't expect it to end so quickly. Okay, everyone, keep drinking. Come on, continue the music, continue the dance steps." Everyone's opinions were unified, and the East Prince's heart was filled with joy, like the dawn illuminating his face. In the ocean of fate, the Eastern Prince explores the trajectory of desire, gathers strength, undergoes the baptism of desire, and gradually digests it, entering the path of practice to eliminate obsession. On the other side, inside the palace of the Taiyuan Immortal Lord, several immortals sat around, seemingly discussing important issues. "Xianjun, are we really going to give up persuading the Emperor to compete for the throne of the Heavenly Emperor?" "That's right, even though we ordinary immortals don't pursue the path of Honghuang, we long to become strong and experience the power of quasi-saints. We must rely on the energy of heaven and earth. With its protection, we can make breakthroughs." Tai Yuan Dao friend, the Emperor's attitude at the banquet has been clear. He has no intention of dominating the world, so what can we do? Everyone was discussing, but Taiyuan remained calm and composed, with his fingers lightly caressing his beard and a smile on his lips. "You are too impetuous to comprehend the wisdom hidden by the Emperor. How can we achieve great things with such impatience?" Upon hearing Taiyuan's words, the others became increasingly confused, looking at each other and realizing that they were equally lost. "I earnestly request your guidance on the maze. You all haven't understood the Emperor's true intentions. At first, we all suspected the demon and demon gods, so we chose to follow the East King to the Purple Mansion. But now, their strength cannot be underestimated, especially in high-end combat capabilities. Today, after listening to the Emperor's words, I finally understood that the Emperor has a plan to replace the demon race's heavenly court. It's just that the timing hasn't arrived yet. We need to steadily develop and avoid direct conflicts. The Emperor is truly wise and resourceful, and I sincerely admire him." After listening, everyone became even more confused and their eyes showed confusion. Their expression seemed to ask, "Are we hearing the same information?" Taiyuan patiently explained, "After the Emperor returns, he will impart the Tao to the creatures of the Purple Mansion. This preaching will undoubtedly promote the rapid rise of the Purple Mansion's power." Afterwards, the Emperor also made it clear that his preaching was not selfless, but for personal purposes. If he doesn't want to become the Heavenly Emperor, why do he have to preach again? Obviously, he saw that the Purple Mansion's strength was weak, and only by preaching could he quickly improve and confront the two tribes. Everyone nodded in agreement. After all, this is a matter related to the Tao. If it weren't for their own imperial throne, who would easily pass it on? Moreover, the Emperor mentioned at the banquet that, if virtue does not match one's position, there will inevitably be disasters, which is not a reflection of the current situation of Emperor Jun. He does not have the qualifications, so how can Emperor Jun govern heaven and earth? Therefore, the emperor proposed to contribute to the floods and establish the righteousness of heaven and earth. He's just a genius, and I'm still pondering how to deal with the power of the two tribes. The emperor has already provided a solution. That is to embark on a journey. Although it is said to be exercise, there must be competition. Nowadays, the chaos of the wilderness is about two races competing with 10,000 races for survival space and resources. We should take the initiative to take action, under the guise of exercise, under the pretext of aiding in the prosperity of the flood and famine, win people's hearts, and be ready to move in order to compete with the demon race. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.